Moors, yeah. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I'm saying, I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I'm going at dirty rappers, lynching Dirty Moors too. Hiding literature that Drew wrote to warn you. They claim to make you Muslim and make you sovereign. With paperwork and filings, your fiat they robbing. They don't care about his words, throw it out like garbage, or throw it at you when you're active, not passive. When they wanna talk a bounce like off a trampoline mattress, treat them like a vamp or a teen actress. Get stamped with a brand like a mean savage. This Inquisition divine, all others average. Millennium Renaissance, heroes in our classes. Fed up with the czar controlling facets. Ask if they heard about Moors, they say no. But Masons, they obviously know. Down the handshakes and rituals with skull and bones. They even know about owls burning Bohemian Grove. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. Dirty Moors killed Drew. I read the FBI papers on loyal Moors, emergency fund rapers, Moorish literature and divine bylaw changers. Might as well say Drew Ali was born in a manger. Prophet pushed poison aside and his food smelled danger. Got me treating every Moor like a stranger. Grand Chief Punkin stumbling drunk in their feds. What was proclaimed for every meeting was not read. Some Moors are so active, prophet can't be dead. Thanks Moorish teachers away, I can't be led. Actions speak, then I consider what's said. And what's said was study, then study yourself. Honest to the prophet, noble Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. Everybody wants to be just like Drew Ali, but nobody wants to care about Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. We can't rep Scarborough since the amalgamation. Where you see city of is a corporation for real. Jane and Finch is an intersection, not a hood or a block or a community where a youth got shot. But back to the borough, Sean Rose Guard, a park with cut grass, running for councilmen, hip-hop engineers and RAS. Not given to get or live in regret. Pissy elevators, shroud lights, starts and sunsets. Got youths in the bubble vest, fake leather uptowns. Big shades and hats, skinny jeans showing butt clowns. Yeah, I said it, and what now? You're gonna buck rounds? Disarming butt clowns after I rush clowns. Everybody's a potential age and I was once even. Friends stabbed up from phlegm or beefing with region. Ancestors protected me, driving from clubs weaving. Not to wrap my car around a pole, leave my mom's grieving. Rapping colors and blocks and gang signs we dying for. And innocent bystanders and sons you're crying for. When sons wearing that big hat and they call fitted and charged. Ask who done it, say the borough did it.
Tell them the borough did it. Tell them the borough did it. Tell them the borough did it. Tell them the borough did it. Tell them the borough did it. Tell them the borough did it. Tell them the borough did it. Tell them the borough did it. Tell them the borough did it. Tell them the borough did it. Tell them the borough did it. Tell them the borough did it. Tell them the borough did it. Tell them the borough did it. Tell them the borough did it. Tell them the borough did it.
The Corporation of the city of Scarborough. Only own blue street signs with Toronto. In conspiracy, all fact, no theory. I see him tobagging them down, Iroquois burial mounds. No more block repping if it's not a Mexum. Northwest Latin, longitude lines, no colors I'm repping. And when I'm repping, it's every color in the spectrum. If you want beef, Mother Nature is my weapon. This storm is not X-Men, but I'm Morocco Meccan. Big nose and big lips in the face section. What they repping as fashion from Gaylord Taylors. Thanking fake Christ for awards and they rain in paper. And using mind control, got the soul mental rapers. When you rep a block, become a gold scaper. Can't rep blocks nowadays, these codes of the streets. Got youths going to jail for gun clapping on peeps. Playing a role, or lay in a hole, or do some dead time. Government cops want your corpse for paying debt time. Make sure you rep the right block as a whole. See your son acting like a Lil Wayne rapper clone. Got you scratching your head wondering what this is. Who made your offspring scapegoats by calling them kids? Corporations own jails and put in the biggest bids. Human resources has been big businesses.
Tell them the world did it. 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 Yeah.
Feeling this one, I ain't shit. Rapper Inquisition, what? Rapper Inquisition. My favorite comics are like Dave Chappelle, turn down cash. Like Tommy Davidson and Severe Bay, take you to class. It's not about just jokes, ask George Carlin. Or like in Black Knight, the Moor was Lawrence Martin. Hurt your feelings, facing death as in a true romance. Lyrical Punic War, rappers won awards from romance. It's mostly homo singing when it comes to slow jams. No more 93.5 mind control programs. Listen for a minute, I suggest no more. Cause 1 second over make you hum songs you don't care for. Artists you don't care for, you can't prepare for. They do some crazy acts and jaw slap the floor. I do believe some change, most say they can't. But quick to go to church on Sunday, clasping hands, buying acts and grand. Zombies pack the stands, leaving children, babysitting children. I hack the plans. I am MC, not a tight pants rapper man. It's still boom bye bye to the heads of Batman. That's rapping and left hung lines by widow's father's thread. I flow like blowing smoke, I'm kinda red. With no ECE, put nursery rappers rhymes to bed. If they give a contract, soul sign you're dead. Real MC, deeper than rap Aquaman. Blame a euro when I flow, not a cracker man.
You sat down and you attacked the master teacher because you thought you heard something that you didn't hear. That's the first violation. You don't come in. First of all, you come in and you act like you come in peace, but you don't. You got an agenda.
Moors are men upright, independent and fearless. Dogmatized dirty Moors, tongues cut out left earless. Cause they never listen, dirty Moors, keep up your slander. Wu-Tang torture in your ass, hot hangers. Kidnapper, dirty Moor, torture him like Saw. 3D, 0.5 or 1 through 4. Or get it like 5 or 6 with a fez on jigsaw. Leather face in a turban, rip dirty Moors lips off.
You sat down and you attacked the master teacher because you thought you heard something that you didn't hear. That's the first violation. You don't come in. First of all, you come in and you act like you come in peace, but you don't. You got an agenda.
Moors are men upright, independent and fearless. Dogmatized dirty Moors, tongues cut out left earless. Cause they never listen, dirty Moors, keep up your slander. Wu-Tang torture in your ass, hot hangers. Kidnapper, dirty Moor, torture him like Saw. 3D 0.5 or 1 through 4, or get it like 5 or 6 with a fez on jigsaw. Leather face in a turban, rip dirty Moors lips off. Disrespecting the mother Mariah Bey. Wrap him up like double crochet, the barbed wire way. Throw him off a bridge or feed him to the piranhas. Yellow journalist Moors spread nothing but propaganda. Idi Amin Bey, treat the temple like Uganda. Dirty Moors like foreigners, crushed to dust like ganja. Not worthy of being Moors, we call them dirty Nehesus. Solomon Seal spell command 72 demons to get you.
This is what the temple guys actually said. That Canaan land is not a part of North America. Canaan land is bigger. Yo, it's ignorance, man. I mean, come on, you're talking about the same land mass. Canaan land is actually bigger than the land mass they know as the corporate United States. Almost twice as big. And if they had any sense, they can just go to Google and they can type in North America and find out North America goes all the way up to Greenland. But they're ignorant. They don't want to do that. They just dealing off emotion.
You might hear horse voices, see frog faces, and who's for feet. Demons we run with, spit fire with gold wolf teeth. Keep playing, forget back seats, new Moors are an issue. Get Ginsu, maybe a dream visit from Vishnu, a nightmare to never end and always continue. Cold as an igloo, dealing with my trust issues through vigilance. Active Moors are militants, SPLC dirty Moors call that sovereign citizen. Lying for views, they notice all the empty pews. Benz need gas and fixing, but not enough dues. Pigpen Bays sell you out for peanuts, claiming that we nuts for teaching birthright street level, keeping it beat nuts.
To any members of the MSTA that's out there listening to what I'm saying, please get it through your head. I don't have a problem with the MSTA. I got issues with
Keep it Kendrick Lamar, stay surrounded by feathers. Dirty's guilty of fraud if Drew Ali scrutinized their ledgers. Getting proclamations from Morocco, disrespect us. Corporate city only recognize people's court jesters. Hand in their back, Moorish puppets and minions. Never get the human rights recognition like Moors near Virginia. Commonwealth, for active Moors knowledge, the Commonwealth. Dirties claim more, but really on the straw man health. Authenticating a birth certificate, that's not significant. Civil little more two status syndicates. In more face, watch them two more status Indians claiming Turtle Island are lying, so intricate.
long days and long nights. But this message needed to be heard.
Oh yeah. Get the nooses ready tonight. Get the nooses ready. Get the nooses ready. Got strange fruit tonight for all these phallus riders. All these phallus riders. So for the phallus riders, just remember, keep in mind.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
August 14, 2018. Copyright takedown notice. Your video has been taken down from YouTube. Canaanland Moors, you are American Aborigines, not Black or Africans. Hi Canaanland Moors. Due to a copyright takedown notice that we received, we had to take down your video from your YouTube. Takedown issued by Dane Calloway. This means that your video can no longer be played on YouTube. You receive a copyright strike. Now, this is them going overboard to make sure that Moors don't get the information to you. Because they could just thumbs down it, or they could just make some BS complaint that, you know, is not going to affect our channel, that we're going to get a copyright strike. What is copyright strike? Why are you mad? Because you got, oh, well, this is what a copy. You now have one copyright strike. If you get multiple copyright strikes, we'll have to disable your account.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
To prevent this from happening, please don't upload videos containing copyrighted content that you aren't allowed to use. Now, these people are supposed to be for your liberation, so they should have no problem with somebody taking their video and putting it out for other people to learn something. I mean, that's why you do this. Oh, but nah, they're gonna go file copyrights with YouTube. That's how they get paid.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
They got thousands of views. Trust me, they get paid from YouTube. To the point where there's a student at this where I work at, and
This student has a YouTube page making $20 a month.
This is a
He has a
demonstration of
YouTube page. He's making
Wirecast.
$20 a month just by uploading whatever he uploads on his YouTube page. This is a high school guy. So if high school guy is getting $20 a month from YouTube for uploading some whatever he uploads, plays video games and all this stuff, like playing 2K on YouTube Live or whatever, and people are watching somebody play a video game and they're getting 50, 100 million views.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
So this is a thing. We're not just coming out and saying some shit or whatever. This is a thing. Have a YouTube page and make finance is a thing right now. We don't go there. We don't go there. Because that's not what this is about. This is about getting our information to the people. Why would they go snitch to YouTube? Why would they go snitch to YouTube? Have YouTube email us to let us know that, see that guy over there? That guy is snitched on you. Because they tell you right here, taken down, issued by Dane Calloway. So they tell you who did it, who snitched. Are you still going to defend him now that you know that he's a snitch? You still going to, where y'all at actually? Let's go see where y'all at. Where y'all at? Where are y'all at?
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
2 comments. Let's see who's on this. Where they at? Okay. Nobody hating there. Is Dane Calloway credible if he's claiming to be indigenous but is using European troglodyte names? No, 95%. All you 5% people, how come your boy is snitching to YouTube? Because we're putting out his info.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Are you guys dumb? Ask yourself the question, why is this guy, your guy, snitching to YouTube if this is about giving out the information? And all we did was take part of his video and put it in our video to put out the information. Why is he mad? Why is he snitching?
This is a
Did we do
demonstration
something
of
wrong
Wirecast.
to deserve a copyright strike? What did we do so wrong to deserve a copyright strike? If you're a Dane Calloway follower and you're in the chat, please tell me, what did we do so wrong? What did Moors do so wrong for this Aboriginal Indigenous guy to go copyright strike our channel?
This
And
is a
then the
demonstration
people
of
who he snitched to
Wirecast.
snitched on him. That's how it goes when you take the low road. That's how you know that what Moors are saying is what's up. Why is he snitching? And then they play this thing with, they'll just mention Moors, and because certain Moors didn't hear their name get mentioned, or their channel get mentioned, or their book get mentioned, or their whatever, or they're just going to be mute, and they're not going to talk about these dirty Moors out here who are stopping people from getting information. Because Moorish American 720 already did the survey, and Canaanland Moors was #1 on the Moorish stuff. The Moorish YouTube pages, this is where people are going to. So know that they're up to whatever they're up to. Where are they at? I know they're on here.
This is a demonstration of
7
Wirecast.
comments. A couple of them must be on here. Right? Name Moody, wherever you're at. Name Moody. What did we do so wrong to get snitched on to YouTube by your boy, Dane Calloway? Eh? Mudhuta, Nudimud, L?
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
What did we do? We took his video and put it in one of our videos, which is just going out for everybody to watch our video. And they're snitching because we used their video. How come this European who's supposed to be the devil and the enemy and all that stuff, Michelle Gibson, is gonna let us upload her stuff
This is
on
a
our page
demonstration of
because
Wirecast.
she wants to put the information out? She's not snitching. You go on Yusuf Matadi L's page, he doesn't even put up his own videos. He puts up other people's videos. How come nobody snitched? But you have Aboriginal Indigenous #1 guy playing around with Moors. Don't play around with Moors. And we know that you
This
people
is
are
a demonstration of
little crap too.
Wirecast.
Where they at? All you people. Where are y'all at? All the dick riders. Marcus Adamu is another one. Rider. Riding with their boy. I am Michelle Edwards. Michelle
This is a
Edwards. But
demonstration
you're not a
of
Moor, but your
Wirecast.
name's Michelle. FOH. Where you at? What do we do? All we're doing is putting out information. And you're mad? How come you're mad? Why are you mad? Right? Actually, we might as well play this too so you could see yourself. You sellout Negroes. You sellouts that we know that you're about to sell out.
This is a
You know
demonstration
you're
of
about to sell out.
Wirecast.
I was in Ghana. We came to Ghana a week ago.
Listen to the music, right? Listen to the black guy victim music that they're playing. It's supposed to be celebrating some 400 years of whatever, but
To commemorate the 400 years the first slave ship left. It was the second worst day of my life.
This is a
The worst day
demonstration
of my
of
life,
Wirecast.
my mama died. I never really fully.
oh, he gave you the Taj. Let me get myself together. Because let me get myself together. Because I'm about to drop it on you guys right now.
Got over that. But standing in them dungeons,
This is a
where they
demonstration
took
of
us from,
Wirecast.
where they stripped us of our heritage, of our land, of our lineage, that we were kings, chiefs, queens, landowners. They took us from here. When I stood in that castle, I couldn't even stand up. See, for us to come to Africa, you don't know. See, you live here. You've been home your whole life.
This is a demonstration of
You here.
Wirecast.
When we come here, it's like coming home to a place you've never been.
Now, keep in mind, it's not just a black thing to go somewhere where people were murdered and feel that energy and it overwhelm you.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
There's mothers we know that lost their sons to gun violence or whatever. When they go to the spot where you know that they're getting hit with something. Don't tell me about some you had to go all the way over there to be in the dungeon to realize how bad the slavery was, because when people are singing about strange fruit over here that you did nothing about.
This is
You're
a
gonna run over there and
demonstration
talk
of
about
Wirecast.
how good it feels to be home when all this used to be one continent? The hell are you talking about? Forget what any even Aboriginal people are saying. What the hell are they talking about? This all used to be one continent. Supercontinent. You can walk anywhere. No Atlantic Ocean. No Pacific Ocean. Just one landmass. I don't care if it's flat, round,
This
square,
is a
triangle. It
demonstration of
doesn't even matter.
Wirecast.
Everything was one landmass and we could walk anywhere. And like we said the other night, so you're telling me that I'm on the land, standing on a riverbank, and then somebody in the chat is standing on the other riverbank and they're in a different continent? If that's your logic, you're a dumbass.
This is a
And
demonstration
you
of
deserve
Wirecast.
everything that you got. Everything. All the stuff that you got, you deserve. Just because. You don't want to take your place amongst the affairs of men. You want to play victim. Listen to the music.
That's what African Americans feel when we come here. I don't know who, but when I stood in that slave dungeon,
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
one of my ancestors was there. He climbed on. And I fell. I couldn't even stand up because one of my ancestors was in that room. Oh, man. See, you.
This is a demonstration
Then
of
we went to the
Wirecast.
second cap.
So your ancestors that got whatever here, that didn't mean anything. So you can go over there, you can feel the pain of the ancestors because you're back home or whatever. But over here, where 500 murders a year or whatever like that, that doesn't bother you. You're not feeling that. That's worse than some slave ship,
This
whatever.
is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Teenager to young man or whatever lose their life for nothing. You're telling me some 400-year ago stuff that happened to somebody is going to bring you to tears. And the stuff happening in your face every single day. You just do your show. Everything's cool. Just do your whatever you're doing. Oh, it's all good. Because we're
This
not
is a
from here. So
demonstration
we
of
don't even have to worry
Wirecast.
about the homeless here and the hungry here and the whatever here. We're going to go all the way over there. And we're going to make a miraculous speech with the background music and all that stuff about some pain of a black man. And then people not even realizing
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
that they didn't just start saying 400 years of slavery in 2019. They've been saying this 400 years of slavery going on. All the 400 years of slavery still. But then it actually is now. So all the times that they said it before, they shouldn't even be talking about no. It wasn't even time yet to talk about 400 years of something.
This is a
But this is how they
demonstration
do.
of Wirecast.
They have their ambassadors in African countries to go there and play this game Like we're African Americans over there. You know, so we're coming back home to Africa because we're African Americans. Really? And if the people over there go for that, they get the really? You guys really fell for that? They're African
This is a
Americans? So they're
demonstration
coming
of
back home?
Wirecast.
Something's going on here. People need to stop sleeping.
Council, I didn't have that feeling. I was just angry at what they did to us. How dare you create such an evil scheme to strip people of who they are and take us to this land far away where we were hated even more. And then we go over here and we build a nation. We built America.
Demonstration of Wirecast.
So, dumbass thinks building America doesn't include the pyramids and mounds and stuff that's here. He's thinking about some government, whatever, there's some Europeans, is America. But then, you know, if you have America, then you have to have Americans.
Of Wirecast.
And those are the original copper-colored natives who were here before some Europeans were here. And remember, we already know what's up, just to have some convo and, you know, really see how they're playing our people.
There are families today in America still benefiting from the billions of dollars from the slave trade.
They're paying you. What are you talking about? The guys who made the millions of dollars and they're still around today, got it from the slave trade, they're paying you. What do you mean? You bringing that up like, because the people over there they're ignorant to the fact that they're paying you. People on the continent think you're a black guy coming from over here, tell them some stuff about whatever. They'll know the inner workings of the entertainment industry over here. That's why they would accept that these people over here are African American. But then they're saying they're Igbo tribe and they got fezzes on. Or they're saying they're Malian and they got fezzes on. And they don't look like pale Arabs.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
People are going on the world denationalizing a nation of people. Under the guise of some black sufferation.
They opened up canneries, tobacco fields. They opened up ketchup companies. They opened up dealerships with the money that their ancestors made off of slavery. And this country still benefits. The great America, which I was born in, still benefits from the slave trade. This atrocity lasted 400 years.
They're born in America. Okay, so we're descendants of Moroccans born in America. That's why we're more.
Demonstration of Wirecast.
We're descendants of Moroccans born in America. He just said he's born in America. So wouldn't that mean that he's a Moorish American? Oh. Remember, that only applies to Negro, black, colored people and all that stuff. That doesn't apply to anybody else who wasn't branded. Anybody who was branded with the Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian?
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Oh, so that means anybody who looks like Steve Harvey is a Mormon. And remember, they keep after showing you drawings and sculptures and movies to justify this.
400 years, some of us African Americans are the first ones to ever set foot of where we from. You and I are the same. When I'm walking around Botswana, I ain't no stranger. Y'all mine, I'm yours. I'm black like you. I'm African.
You can't be African and black and all that stuff. Because remember, over there, they don't know about that
This
BS.
is a demonstration of Wirecast.
They don't know about their black over there like that. Unless some black guy goes there and tells them that that's what. I know people from the continent and they don't say they're African. Ever do they say that they're African. And they say, you don't look like
This is a demonstration
from
of
over there.
Wirecast.
Yeah, there's people who have the same characteristics in your physical appearance, but no, you're from over here. And they're from over there. So who am I going to go with? I'm going to go with someone from here who doesn't know what's going on over there? Or I'm going to go with somebody who knows what's going on over there, and then they came over here and then they realized, oh, this is what the hell's going on over here? And as soon as they gravitate to Moorish information, they snap right back to where they're supposed to be over there, but they're over here now. With a whole new mind, just because they connected themselves to their Moorish history. Remember, they're from over there. They're from across there, where he is telling them that,
Is a demonstration
we're the
of
same, we're
Wirecast.
black, and we're African.
See, you don't understand. I'm 62 years old. I know you can't believe it. I'm so fly. I'm so fresh and clean. I'm so dope. I drip. You understand? I'm with it. I'm the fly 62-year-old on the planet. Outkast wrote a song about me. Ain't nobody dope as me. I'm just so fresh and clean. That was about Steve Harvey. Huh?
Yeah, but they had to get sniffing. Yeah, they got to get the sniffle back in there, right? Because, this is a serious matter. Our ancestors died and all that stuff. But, he's fly and dope and whatever.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
I've been around long enough. I was born in 1957 when we was niggas. I lived until they started calling us colored. I lived until they called us Negroes. I lived until they called us black. And we finally understood that we Africans. So now in America, you have to identify us as African Americans. I've been through the whole gamut.
Islam, boy.
Islam. You already know. Bring me on. Bring me on. Gang job.
Go ahead, boy. Go ahead.
Gang job. Let me know when.
Oh yeah, go ahead, boy.
Demonstration of Wirecast.
All right, cool. Peace. Islam to all the Moors.
Islam.
SetenRa Bey. So I'm sitting here, I'm tuning in, man, and I'm listening to all this slave talk, and looking at Steve Harvey sitting there crying and all of that shit. And
I figured I just had to address a couple things, man. Steve Harvey is what they would call financially wealthy, right? You know, well off. And he carried his ass over to Ghana, and he got to crying and carrying on because he went to the slave fortress.
Demonstration of Wirecast.
Well, he didn't have to go all the way over there to get some information. He could have gone down to Jamestown, Virginia, like me and my brother Brandon did, and went over to the Jamestown settlement and asked about 1619. So when I approached the lady at the counter, and I said, listen, just coming to check out some of the slave memorabilia that you got, because I know that the European likes to keep a trophy case. He likes to keep his exploits and show it off to the world. So you got any remnants, any slave ships, anything, any pieces of wood, anything?
Of Wirecast.
The lady looked at me like I had 6 heads, man. Now, when anybody see the Commonwealth of Virginia license plate, it says 1619 on it, so they're bragging about 1619. But they have no evidence. They have no proof. How is it that they still got a fortress over in Ghana, but they ain't got nothing where they brought all these people to? Right? If Steve Harvey really want to know what's good, why don't he go down to Mexico? Why don't he travel throughout this continental United States, or quote-unquote United States, like I do? Why doesn't he travel around North America, go to Central America, go to South America, and see all of this stuff that's been left here by us, by the ancestors? Because the ancestors talk to me while I'm here. I used to be one of those people who was dying to go to Africa. Yo, I gotta go. Until Master Teacher Abdullah Bey sat me down and talked to me a few times and was like, listen, you travel so much, why don't you explore your culture and your history and your ancestry here?
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody ever thinks about that. Everybody says, I want to go. Yo, it's plenty right here. I've seen it with my own eyes. I just came from San Antonio over the weekend.
Of Wirecast.
Down in a place where they got what they call the Alamo, where they talk about the Mexicans fighting the Texans. All of them depictions of the Mexicans are brown like me and you, see?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see no pale Mexicans on none of them portraits and stuff, man.
Yeah.
Even when I'm down in Mexico, I don't see portraits of pale Mexicans, right? But just for people's research purposes and study purposes, forget Christopher Columbus, because everybody, they know, he traveled to the New World. Okay, look up Giovanni Verrazano.
Demonstration of Wirecast.
They named the bridge after him. That bridge goes into Brooklyn, off the New Jersey Turnpike. Look up Giovanni Verrazano and see who he said was here when he got here. He didn't describe no Indian, no so-called Indian, no $5 Indian. He didn't describe none of that. He described sheep. He described me. He described all the brothers and all the sisters that's on the line right now, that's on the chat. Tell Steve Harvey to look that up. Tell Dan Calloway to look that up. Tell all these other people to look that up.
This is
Tell
a
these people to
demonstration
go
of
research
Wirecast.
Matthew Henson and Captain Robert Perry from the early 1900s when they took their voyage up to what's known as the North Pole. Captain Matthew Perry couldn't find his way. He tried 3 or 4 times. He couldn't get there. He came and got an Asiatic brother, a Moorish brother named Matthew Henson, to help him get to the North Pole. Now, all you got to do is read this. What I'm saying is documented. I'm not making this up. As they're traveling north, they start to run out of food because they can no longer travel by ship because there's too much ice. So they had to go on. They had to go on dog sleds.
Demonstration of
So as they started running
Wirecast.
out of food, they started running into the northerners up there who were the indigenous people of the land up there. When Matthew Henson got there, Google his brother so you can see what he looks like. The indigenous people there, the Moors that were there, said to him, "Welcome home, brother." I need y'all to understand what I'm saying. I'm not talking Toronto, where Sheik is. I'm talking much further up in Canaanland, where you can't travel by vehicle, you can't travel by ship, you have to travel by sled.
This is a
Now tell me
demonstration
what
of
slave ship went up there and
Wirecast.
dropped some people off. Well, you're telling me some people broke out of Virginia and they ran all the way to hell up there. To a place where you can't take a ship? To a place where you can only travel by sled? That's a hell of a long way to be running from some damn slavers. But not only did they welcome him back home, they asked him what his name was. Research what I'm saying. Look up Matthew Henson. He told them Matthew Henson, and they was almost appalled. They gave him an indigenous name, saying, "We're going to call you this. We ain't calling you no damn Matthew."
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Research what I'm saying. We don't got time to keep dealing with this emotional shit about these slave narratives and all of this other stuff. I'm sure many of y'all seen Roots. I want y'all to watch it again. I want you to pay attention to 2 parts of this movie. There's a part of that movie where Fiddler is taking Kunta back to the plantation. He say, your name is Kunta. He said, my name is Toby. Your name is Kunta. My name is Toby. Your name is Kunta. My name is Toby. And he said, look here, Guinea boy.
This is a demonstration
I don't
of
know how y'all,
Wirecast.
you know what I'm saying? How y'all do things in Africa, but old Fiddler going to show you how we do things around here. Pay attention to that because they put that little slick shit in the movies and it slips right past people, man, because they be so busy worrying about Kunta and Toby that they don't pay attention to that. Now, here's the point. He finally gets Toby back to the plantation, right? And he says to all the other people, come on, y'all gather around. I want to show y'all something.
This is
Now,
a
he's talking to other
demonstration
Moors.
of Wirecast.
He ain't talking to no Europeans. He ain't talking to no mulattoes. He's talking to straight up Moors, brown-skinned people. He said, I know ain't none of y'all never seen a real African before, but I got one right here. Pay attention to what I just said. I know y'all never seen a real African before, but I got one right here. Okay, so now, if they are quote-unquote slaves and they've never seen a real African, then what were their parents? What were their grandparents? Where did they come from?
This is a demonstration of
Somebody somewhere had
Wirecast.
to be African because that's what they're telling us. Somebody somewhere had to. See, you got to pay attention to little stuff like that they put in movies, that they put in commercials. Because it's right there in your face. I know you've never seen a real African. Well, then, God damn it, where everybody else come from? It's obvious. If people stop dealing with their emotions, check your emotions, man. Check that shit at the door, just like your coat when you're going into the theater.
Check your
Check your
emotions.
emotions at the door.
This is
Open
a
up your eyes,
demonstration of
open up your heart,
Wirecast.
open up your mind, and just let the truth come in. Truth hurts, I understand. It's like surgery, man. But sometimes you got to cut shit out because it just ain't no good no more. We can't keep on dealing with this emotional shit, this religious shit running back and forth, crying about, hey, listen, man, look in the mirror and understand and recognize who you are. It's there. Even in their own document, that King Alpha plan, I'm sure y'all done been through it. It flat out says that we will be a formidable foe because we are bound to the continent by heritage. Don't forget, the continent was all one, North, Central, and South, until the Albion cut into that Panama Canal. It's all one continent. America, they keep telling you Africa is the biggest continent. America is the biggest continent. North, Central, and South. All the way up to Greenland, all the way down to Peru. I had enough of this. Sheikah had enough of this going back to Africa crying and shit, man, and all this other stuff, man. Listen, I showed this young boy a little while ago. I said, listen, you ain't never heard of the Olmecs? And he said, nah. All right, man, these statues go back to 3500 BC. We talking 5,000 years.
Yeah.
From today. Is it possible that me and the Grand Sheik left Ghana, came all the way over to Mexico, and made such an impression that they made a bunch of statues look like me and him and didn't make none that look like them? I've been down to Mexico. I don't see no statues of no damn Indians. I've been down there 3 times. Me and my wife. If y'all go down there, y'all gonna see the same thing. I challenge anybody to show me a statue of an Indian 500 years old. Show me one.
Oh, since you're going there, what about this idea that we're all these different tribes that call themselves nations, but we're not Moors on this side?
All right, we can address that too. I don't know how many people might be near a computer, but this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to Google and we're gonna go to the Delaware codes and we're gonna look it up, because a lot of, you know, how many people don't know that we had these tribal names, family names, right? Lenni, Lenape, Chickaw, Choctaw, Washita, all of this other stuff. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to Delaware Code.
Demonstration of Wirecast.
Title 29, Chapter 1. Once you go to Delaware Code, Title 29, Chapter 1, I want you to go down to subsection 106 and then read section 4. I ain't going to tell nobody what to say. I'll just let y'all look it up. And that right there, Sheik, that'll address all of that nonsense about, oh man, well, we had these family names, it wasn't called Moors. But so now for all the naysayers, I'm gonna give you that again just in case anybody didn't get it. Delaware Code, Title 29, Chapter 1. Go down to subsection 106, Section 4. But for all of these naysayers, all of these people who say, oh man, that's not this, that's not that. Well, then why is it that I can walk into a federal building with my fez on and they don't ask me to take it off when I come through the detectives? Why is it that I can go in all these different tribunals and airports and all these other places and they don't ask me to take my fez off? Shit, you've been through it, you travel.
Islam.
They don't ask me to take it off.
Of
and for those who do, it's only because they don't know no better. It's only because they don't know no better. You can go into tribunals, you can go into federal buildings, the whole nine with your fez. It's because they know. If anybody who's close to the territory of Washington, D.C., go over there and go to that museum, the Natural Sciences Museum, right there on the strip where the rest of the Smithsonians are, and see they got an Olmec head out there. It's not a history museum. Why they got an Olmec head in the middle of Washington, D.C.?
Of Wirecast.
That's not a history museum. They ain't nothing about Mexico. Well, why they got that head outside of a museum at the Smithsonian? They keep telling us, but we're not listening. We're too busy arguing with each other and being emotional about slavery. I'll do some mathematics with him, Chief, and then I'll be done. I don't want to hog up your broadcast, Jen.
Oh, don't worry, you good, yo.
So let's do some mathematics. If y'all got, I hope y'all looked up that Delaware Code, and then you can flat out see. You can flat out see that the Lenni Lenape were called Moors. It flat out says that right there in the Delaware Code. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's right there. But now let's just address this whole transatlantic thing. It took 3 to 5 months to go from Spain or Portugal to the west coast of Africa down to the Caribbean, right? Every 3 months, there's a natural phenomenon that occurs. It's called the seasons change. When the seasons change on land, the seasons change on the water. Sheik, you from the islands. You know how it is out there. That when seasons change, you get hurricane season, you get storms, you get typhoons, you get all kinds of stuff out there on the water. Now, the storms that you hear about on the news are the storms that's going to reach land. What about all the storms that's out there on the water that you never, ever, ever hear about? Where ships don't make it. You never hear about it because you ain't got nothing to do with the ship. Ain't none of your cargo on it. Ain't none of your property on it. So what are you going to hear about a ship that capsizes in the middle of the water for? So my point for saying that is this. If every 3 months the seasons change on land and every 3 months the seasons change on water, how many ships do you think they're going to send out in that change in water? And the hurricanes and the typhoons and the storms and all of that type of stuff. Now, from May until October, you got what's known as hurricane month. That's May, June, July, August, September, October, 6 months. And if you go back to the 1900s, you can Google this. They said hurricane season started somewhere around February. So now, if we got hurricane season going on for 6 months, I don't know about y'all, but I don't know about sending my precious cargo out there with the possibility of a storm coming. Not to mention that all hurricanes start on the west coast of Africa, travel across the Atlantic, down to the Caribbean, into the Gulf of Mexico, and up the east coast of what's called North America.
Oh, quick interjection. Quick interjection. Hold that thought.
Yeah.
But keep in mind that the slave people say that the hurricanes come from the dead ancestors in the ocean and stuff like that.
Shit, that's nonsense, man. That's nonsense. So where were the hurricanes coming from before they started the transatlantic slave trade? You telling me they just started because of that? That's crazy, man. That's that emotional shit, right? So now you get back to the transit. You got to figure they told us there was anywhere between 100 to 200 people as captives on board in the bottom of a ship, laying head to toe shackled. Now, just like I know, those ships had wooden slats in for the deck. They call it shiplack or something like that. So now with the water pushing up against the side of the ship, falling down in people's faces and all of that type of stuff, salt water we're talking about. And you're talking about in extreme heat. Nobody's going to survive that. Not to mention that everybody needs water. 3 months without water, it's a wrap. Everybody needs water. So tell me how they had enough water on board for at least 100 people that would kept this cargo, and let's just say 20 crew members. You can't transport that much water because water is unstable. It's too heavy. So you can't transport that on the ship, and you know they wasn't filtering seawater. So somewhere along the way, some of this stuff got to start making sense to people.
Mm-hmm.
Not being emotional, just being realistic.
Right.
Then they also told us that they bought 10 million people. Yo, bro, the west coast of Africa should have been wiped clean. Do you know how many people that is? 10 million? That's a lot of goddamn people. It should have been like 8 people left in the whole west coast of Africa, cuz. Right? So now, they're telling us 10 million people, which means, and they only telling us they bought 100 people to 200 people at a time. So that means that they would have had to have ships in constant rotation. We're talking 1619 to sometime in like, what, 1840 or something like that?
Yeah.
Come on, man. They would have had to have ships in constant rotation. You know what kind of logistics you got to have to pull that shit off?
The caveman just figured it out, you know.
Come on, man. They just got finished crying about the earth was flat. And see, but you got people like Steve Harvey who just being emotional and don't want to listen to nothing else because that's what they told us. That's what they told us. Tell me how is it that right around Reconstruction, right after 1865, 1870, all of a sudden we got senators, all of a sudden we got politicians, we got inventors, some of the dumbest damn people in the world, right? Can't read, can't write, and all of a sudden you're a senator?
Yeah.
Where that shit come from?
This is a demonstration
all of these
Wirecast.
inventors from the 1700s. What about all the damn pyramids? What about all the mathematics? What about all the shit that we done built all these thousands of years ago? What about what they call the Renaissance, which was Moors going into Europe and teaching their asses how to wash their ass, how to cook their food because they was eating raw meat. All the universities that we built. Come on, man. And nobody in Europe was literate except the clergy. They didn't want nobody to know how to read.
Demonstration of Wirecast.
Only the clergy. And what I'm saying is researchable. Go read this shit, y'all. The clergy were the only people who could read. Because they dictated to the people the same way that they told you they dictated to you on the plantation. And they got you jumping for Jesus. Jesus been coming back for a long time, man. I don't know what he doing or what he waiting on, but my man been coming back for a long time and they sitting around waiting.
Just like it's been 400 years of slavery for a long time.
This is a demonstration.
Hey man, I heard you when you said it, right? Now here's the thing: it's 2019. Y'all remember that movie X? I think X came out in 1990 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was a depiction of Ilhaj Malik El-Shabazz, who they call Malcolm X. Now, if he said that way back in 1960, it should be about 460 years by now.
Yeah.
Right, but that's only because they just keep on regurgitating what they hear. Nobody's opening up a book.
Nobody's checking. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's opening up a book. Nobody's doing any research. Nobody's not taking these trips around this continental, quote unquote, United States to see the stuff that's here. I don't know how many of y'all ever heard of Poverty Point Park. Mm-hmm. It's in Louisiana. I went down there about 5 years ago. And the Washington used to go down there all the time. I'm not sure they may still go, but they would go every year, and they would do rituals there on the mounds that were there right on the edge of the Mississippi River. So I'm down there. I didn't have my fez on. I didn't have a tarbush on. I was just chilling.
This is a
and the young boy says
of
to me, there's a young Moor who works in there at the souvenir counter, and he says to me, "Are you one of those people?" So of course I play dumb. One of what people? You know, man, those people, man, they come down here all the time. What people you talking about, brother? You know, they wear those hats. I said, you mean the fez? And he said, yeah. I said, you mean Moors? And he was like, yeah, Moors. I said, yes, I'm a Moor. I said, as are you. He said, oh, no, I'm not, man. I'm a Christian.
This is a demonstration.
Listen, bro, you can be Christian,
Wirecast.
Muslim, Buddhist, Hindu, a monkey, whatever. You're still a Moor. That's your national descent. That's what you are. You can't. Listen, Chinese people don't choose to be Chinese. They are. But he's so stuck in his religion that he don't want nothing to do with his nationality. That's how lost they got us. Now, what's even worse is this. I said, brother, all of this stuff out here that people come to visit is stuff that your ancestors left. And he said, man, Indians left that stuff. And I'm like, Indians? And I got the pictures from when I was down there. I'll send these shits to you so you can, you know what I'm saying? I said, brother, look at the figurines that's in the case that you're selling. They got noses like us. They got lips like us. What do you mean, Indians, man? Oh, man, no, man, I'm not. I mean, I don't want to get into that, man. I don't want to. Hey, that's how screwed up we are in the head.
Yeah.
They got us so caught into this slave narrative that we can't even begin to accept the thought that we were here first and that this is our ancestral thing in our land. We can't even begin to think it. How is that? How? I mean, because nobody wants to read. Everybody wants to be entertained. Listen, nobody has a problem watching the Super Bowl. Nobody has a problem watching the Super Bowl. Hey, man, you know what? They go get chips. They go get buffalo wings. They go get soda. They go get everything. I'll tell you all this. The second lecture that I did with Canaanland Moors was during the goddamn Super Bowl. We did a lecture. We did a Skype way back in 2014 that was called the Moorish Connection to Illegal Immigration during the Super Bowl. I watched football, but I knew that was more important. So I didn't even care about not watching the Super Bowl. I straight up missed it and didn't even try to watch a replay because this is that important to me. Everybody that played in that Super Bowl, whether they won or lost, was on vacation the next week. I was back at work.
This is a demonstration
I was back at work, so it didn't make a difference whether I saw it, whether the team I wanted to win lost tonight. It didn't make a difference.
Yeah.
I'm still on the grind. They on vacation.
Yep.
So it's more important to me to take this time and sit here and spend it with y'all to try to enlighten you to say, hey, man, listen, go see some stuff. Go to the Grand Canyon. Go to Niagara Falls. Go to these places. People know about Stonehenge over there in London. Yo, there's Stonehenges all over Canaanland. There's one right downtown Toronto, right on Lakeshore Drive.
This is a
right by
demonstration
the
of
Lake Ontario.
Wirecast.
They're all over. Listen, Sheik, I was delivering U-Haul vans. And what do I see on the side of a U-Haul van but another Stonehenge statue, right? And they say that there are hundreds of them all over what they call the Canadian landscape. And they said, we don't know who built them. Yeah, okay. You know who built them there just like you know who built them there in Europe.
Yep.
But our people don't want to accept that. Because you got a problem with Moors. So what, you want us to stop saying Moors? You want us to say something else and you going to start listening? Or you going to continue to be a dumbass?
Well, actually, that's where we're gonna go to, because these guys out here, Indigenous, Aboriginal, whoever's, had this 11-hour live stream. They had this 11-hour live stream, and then they had a little section in there where they're just going off on Moors, Garvey, Drew Ali, Fard Muhammad, everybody. So I was just gonna play some of that, and then whenever you have to bounce, you can make your move. Then
make it happen.
Yeah.
That's what that's about. You got to do your genealogy. That's what that's about. Exactly. Genealogy is key. Warnig, you know what's up, man.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
There's a lot of people that know what's up.
Hit the horn on them, Corey, man. Hit the horn on.
I mean, I can't stress it enough, but at the same time, I'm going to continuously stress it in each and everything that I put out, every live stream that I'm on. When you see me in public, everything, I'm going to put that out. If they invite me to a news station, for example, that's the first thing I'm saying. And the last thing I'm saying. My narrative is not going to change. Ain't nobody going to be able to buy me off. I don't care how many millions of dollars you throw in my face. I'm not changing. At all. You ain't gonna be able to buy me out. And now it's documented. I'm on live stream. And I've been said this multiple times, but you ain't gonna be able to buy me out.
calling you out for who you are. It is what it is, son. Go ice up.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Nah, but I think that would be too heavy for them. They don't understand how they was. Noble Jew Ali and Marcus Garvey was side by side. And so was Wentworth Arthur Matthew. And they want to call him Wallace Farad Muhammad. Matter of fact, before they even created the NOI, I told you it was called the ATI. And it's in their records, in the FBI records, and I'm glad you actually got those FBI records because that's necessary. That's what's needed, and I hope you got all of them.
Yeah,
I hope you got all of them. They all unclassified now. They even stamped it and saying unclassified now. Yep. Look how long it took them to put that out. They need to read those records. They need to read those records, man. Y'all need to see what happened. Y'all need to.
Now, let me ask you this question. So Dan Calloway is talking about how the FBI records of the Moorish Science Temple of America and NOI and whatever just got unclassified. And now they're available to the public because they put in a Freedom of Information request and got the FBI records of the Moorish Science Temple. So they're about to expose it because the FBI was investigating Moorish Science Temple. Could you talk about the FBI records and just your perspective on why those exist?
So for anybody who never seen the FBI records from the MSTA, what it looks like is like somebody was doing donuts with a car, because the majority of the shit is blacked out. You see a couple words, a long black line, a couple more words, a long black line, a couple more words, a long black line. You gotta understand, and for anybody who understands the history of the MSTA, you can go back and you can check it. You can see how many people were jealous of the prophet. How many people in the MSTA tried to take the prophet down? I don't know if y'all even know that they went and threw all the prophet shit out in the street and tried to put him out. It was nothing but jealousy. There's always been infiltration amongst our ranks, amongst our people. In the Garvey movement, you see who did it. W.E.B. Du Bois.
Demonstration of Wirecast.
With the prophet, you see who did it. Carl Green Bay and the rest of them cats. They went right in and tried to take right over. As soon as the prophet got that land mandate, that's when it really hit the fan. But you start checking them FBI papers. You see when they start and you see when they stop. Now, they can say, yeah, all right, we're going to declassify. We're going to put all this stuff out. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. Hey, see, how easy is it for me and you to write up some stuff and to make it public, make it available for the people? That's real simple to do. They've been doing it with books all the time. They say and they write books about us being enslaved and everybody believes it. But there was definitely infiltration amongst the ranks. All you got to do is go back. For anybody who never read Exhuming a Nation by Elihu Pleasant Bay, read it. Read it. There was nothing but infiltration going on back then. I mean, you got to think about it. The prophet passed his form, and then they're having a convention, and my man walks up and sits in the chair and say, "I'm the prophet reincarnated."
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
I mean, come on, I'm the prophet reincarnated. Come on, man. He didn't walk up and say, "Hey, listen, I'm the man, and I'm gonna take this movement over." Nah, he said, "I'm the prophet reincarnated." Sign the prophecy. And now you got reincarnated temples out here, people who follow that. But for Dan Calloway and for everybody else and for all these other cats, it should be clear that us being Moors or being called Moors didn't start with Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet Noble Drew Ali was the prophet that was sent back to remind us of who we were. Because your asses forgot. He said it in the literature. I came to you.
Say that again. Huh? Say that again. Say that one again.
I don't even remember what I said. Because it's just letting it flow. See, you got to keep in mind that Prophet Noble Drew Ali did not make us Moors. We were already Moors. Prophet Noble Drew Ali was the prophet that was sent to remind your ass of who you were because you forgot. He said it in the literature.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
What I'm coming back with. But I came to you, Moors, because you need me the most. Because your ass forgot. The European didn't forget who he is, and he damn sure didn't forget who you are. He damn sure didn't forget who you are. You forgot. Going to the 101s and they ask you, when was the prophet born? 1886. What was his nationality? Moorish American. And then it goes, and then you go back into it and say, when was the MSTA formed? 1913. It was actually the old Canaanite
temple. This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
He was born before the temple. It was him that started the temple, but he was already a Moor. How's that work? You got to understand that we are who we are. If it wasn't a fact, they'd be telling us take them damn feathers off. Don't come in here with that shit on your head. Take that thing off. But they know better. If they didn't know who we were, the Albion would not sit in his Masonic temple with a fez on that says Islam. He would not sit in his temple with a fez on that says El. He would not sit in the temple with a fez on that says Bey or Morocco. We gotta open up your eyes right in front of you. So, hey man, Dan Calloway and everybody else who want to be emotional, hey man, be emotional, man, kick rock. We got work to do, and we're gonna continue to do it. You continue doing your research. I hope you find what you want. Now, to address that genealogy. Hey, Chief, who's doing the test? We going to the Albion to ask him to do our genealogy. Hey, Cujo ain't doing these damn tests. I ain't doing these tests for y'all.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
We're going to the Albion. We're going to the Albion, and then here's the fly part, right? Here's the fly part. All these people go get these tests, right? And they say, oh, you 8% monkey, you 6% dog, 12% cat. You got a little orangutan in you, and you got some bat, and your grandmother was an eagle. People got from all these different nations, right? Well, with all jokes aside, how come nobody never has any genealogy from the Americas, man? Why is it all from Europe and Africa? I don't never hear nothing about nobody being from Laos.
Of Wirecast.
I don't never hear about nobody being from Guyana, from the Philippines. You never hear, why is everybody got ancestry from Africa and Europe? You telling me nowhere else in the world was populated? Come on, man.
Yo, so
now
just a quick one. On August 26, 2017, after this man sent in a DNA test, but used the dog DNA.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
The dog came back 20% Native American. 12% Abenaki and 8% Mohawk.
You understand? You understand? It's nonsense, man. He used a dog's DNA. Like, he caught his dog's piss. Like, yeah, use this. You telling me nobody has any ancestry in the Americas?
The dogs do. The dogs do.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
The dogs do, right? The dogs do. Now, here's a little brain teaser for some of y'all for this who want to be dealing with this slavery shit. There was a woman named Queen Lilia Luakani. All you got to do is Google the last queen of Hawaii, right? And you'll see Lilia Luakani. She looks like my mother. She looks like Cujo's mother. She looks like your mother. The last queen of Hawaii. Now, y'all tell me what slave ship took her from anywhere in Africa all the way to some goddamn Hawaii. Now, another thing I want you to do is I want you to go to your computer and I want you to see exactly how far off the land Hawaii is. And tell me what slave ship took her ass out there. Her and all the rest of the people that was there looking like her. See, we don't study, y'all. We only go off what they told us. They said we were slaves. Come on, man. It's real time to dig in. Look up the last queen of Hawaii on YouTube, Lilia Luakani, and you'll see. She looks like your mother. She looks like your grandmother. And we're not talking 500 years ago. We're talking a little while ago. And so the Albion went down there in her land, put hand. You know, I ain't gonna tell you the story. Go ahead and watch the video YouTube. And then tell me about the slave ship that left all the way from way over there, traveled all the way around America, and dropped her off in Hawaii to pick whatever they wanted her to pick.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Man, because it's annoying, man. You know what I'm saying? Like no, like they're just emotional, and they're not even really using their minds.
Not thinking at all.
They're not thinking, man.
Yeah.
Steve Harvey said, "Man, we was kings, we was queens." He said, "Man, when we built America, we built every goddamn thing,
Yeah.
everything, everywhere. We built everything. Even if you talk about our presence in
This is a
Asia.
demonstration of
You
Wirecast.
understand? All you got to do is look at the Buddha. You see the Buddha's nose. You see his lips. Look at that shit, y'all. Look at the people in Asia, in Southern Asia, how dark they are. The Vietnamese, the Laos. Y'all heard stories of people who was in the Vietnam War, where the Vietnamese were saying, "So, brother, what you doing here?" And they wouldn't kill the brothers. They would kill the Albions. They wouldn't shoot the brothers. Y'all done heard these stories. If the Filipinos know, I mean, shit, come on, man. So, brother, what you doing here?
This is a demonstration of
over here to kill us for
Wirecast.
Come on, man. Come on, man. We gotta stop dealing with emotions, man. I don't know Dan Calloway. I don't watch his videos. I know his name. But if the brother can't see it, then that's on him, man. We got work to do. We got work to do. We're Moors, and we know we're Moors, and they know we're Moors. The whole slave narrative, man. Hey, Sheik, I'm gonna send you a video, man. I want you to post this joint to your page, man.
Yeah.
This is a
video
demonstration of
of
Wirecast.
Peace and love, Sharice. I'm just reading the text the good brother sent me. I'm gonna send you a video, man. Here's a video of a brother that they claim was a slave in South Carolina that ended up buying his freedom and then turning around buying a plantation from the governor of South Carolina. Now y'all got to know that South Carolina boasted the highest number of slaves in the whole union.
This is a demonstration of
No
Wirecast.
state had more slaves than that's what they're telling us, than South Carolina. So then I'm gonna send you this video, and then you post it to the joint so everybody can see this shit.
Yeah.
They're telling us that this brother went and bought slaves himself, and they said he was one of the most cruel slave drivers ever. To where Europeans used to be like, "Damn, that's a mean man." Now, how much sense that make that this brother was in slavery, getting his ass whipped, seeing his people get raped and lynched, and then he gonna turn around and do it to his own folks?
Wow.
Now, don't get me wrong.
This is a demonstration
I know
of
we had slaves.
Wirecast.
I'm not saying we didn't. We had Asiatics, we had Europeans. I understand that. That's very clear to me. But it's just the way that they tell the story, how they try to quote unquote whitewash it. There's a European man in the video that says, "I'm sitting here with this brother, and his great grandfather had slaves, and I'm a European." Well, he said, "I'm a white man," and he said, my great grandfather didn't have any." Yeah, no shit, because we know the history and you know it too. Another tale from South Carolina. There's a place called
This
Angel
is a demonstration
Oak
of Wirecast.
ANGELOAKPARK. Angel Oak Park. My brother, my wife, and two of my cousins visited this place and myself back in 2015. Y'all Google that because there's an oak tree that I want you to see. It's very, very, very big. And they'll tell you that this is a place where they hung slaves. They'll tell you that this was the gallows. So we're down there, and yeah, that's just not resonating with me. You know what I'm saying? The energy is telling me something different. I seen a young boy out there, and I went over to the young boy, me and my wife and my brother, and I said, "Yo, brother, can you tell me anything about this tree?" So he gave us the history of the tree, and he said, "Brother, they ain't hang no slaves from this tree." He said, "My family has been here." Now, this is about 20 minutes, 20 miles south of Charleston, South Carolina. My family has been here since the 1600s, and we ain't never been no slaves. He said, "Who you need to talk to is my daddy." And he got it from his daddy, and he got it from his daddy.
This
Now, that's
is
real
a demonstration of
That's real
Wirecast.
talk. That young boy got no reason to make none of that up.
Shit.
But that's real talk. That's because, this shit is not what they told us it was. So if they want to sit around and they want to say, and they want to try to pick Noble Drew Ali out the hat, they want to try to pick Marcus Garvey out the hat, all right, then go further back in history on their ass. And what they got to say about that?
Right.
Go into that Delaware code that I just showed you, and what they got to say about that. I ain't write that shit. I don't work for Delaware.
This is a
I ain't write it.
demonstration
I
of
just know where it is.
Wirecast.
It said that they were called the Moors. The tribe called Lenni Lenape were known as the Moors. I didn't write that shit. I didn't write it, but it's there. All of these keys that I give you tonight. I mean, I ain't sitting in front of no book. This is from me studying. This is from me reading, from years and years and years of me reading. Here I'm 43, y'all. I've been reading this shit since I was a
This is a
child,
demonstration of
and it's still
Wirecast.
with me. And don't get it twisted. It's in you too because it's our history. It's our history. We can't keep sitting around looking like, hey man, what they told us, what they said, what they told us, what they said. All right, man, cool. They told us a whole lot. They told us a whole lot. They said a whole lot. But come on, y'all. Open up your minds, open up your hearts, and open up some books.
For real.
And dig in.
This
Real
is a
shit, and dig in.
demonstration of Wirecast.
Mostly,
Dig in.
mostly that. Open up some books. Mostly that.
They probably tired of hearing me, Sheik, so I'm going to yield the floor, man.
It's tough.
Okay, this is love.
Give thanks for it.
Indeed, man. Just one last thing, man. To all your Moors, man, stay up, keep your head up. Don't be afraid to open no books. Anybody need to get at me, man, SetenRa Bey at gmail.com. Peace and love.
This is
It's
a
love,
demonstration of
It's
Wirecast.
love.
Peace. Here it is more.
To see what
How it
happened.
goes.
I mean, yeah, I'm not. It's not going to turn your nose up at Noble Jew Ali, but it's going to make you wonder about these other people. It's going to make you be like, damn.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about they were doing more than magic. They were killing their own brothers and chopping them up and eating them. That's in the FBI documents.
This
Why
is
you
a
think the FBI and the
demonstration of
CIA got
Wirecast.
involved? They killing each other. They call that a sacrifice. That all that Mohammedan stuff. Why do you think Farah Muhammad was locked up the first time? What you gonna say? Oh, because his wife didn't want to show anybody his driver's license and he got pulled over? Don't fall for the story they put in front of you. Don't fall for that.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Let me just read a little the introduction of that. Just a
Okay.
little bit. So it says this paper sets out to show the influence of Freemasonry in the Nation of Islam, NOI, and the group leading up to the NOI's formation and those who rose out of it. These groups were created out of necessity because of the unfavorable social atmosphere towards African Americans in the United States at the beginning of the 20th century. The groups that led up to the Nation of Islam were the United Negro Improvement Association led by Marcus Garvey and the Moorish Science Temple founded by Noble Drew Ali. I will touch on each of these groups and show their relation to the Nation of Islam and the influence that these two groups had on W.D. Farr and Elijah Muhammad, the two men who are responsible for the creation and development of the NOI theology. So they never ran into each other, you said? That's what they'd be saying?
They said they never knew each other, and that's a lie. Marcus Garvey knew.
Well, that's
Noble
just
Drew
because
Ali.
the people who are telling you this, those are people who don't research.
They
Automatically, I'll be like, man, you've never researched. Man.
Nah, they're not researching.
This is a demonstration
They're
of
not researching, and I
Wirecast.
know they're not. And I know they're not, but, you know, it is what it is, man. They were working directly with the government, man. They were working directly with the government. Marcus Garvey never went to Africa. Never.
Sure didn't. He went to England though.
He buried in.
Yeah.
They brought him to Jamaica, I
Demonstration of
suppose.
Wirecast.
His father received a library from the people out there in England too. Hey.
You know who Marcus Garvey is? Garfield.
Yes.
That's Garfield.
Man. Oh wow, that hit home.
Marcus Marcus Garvey was a betrayer.
Yeah.
He was a Prince Hall Freemason.
Prince Hall Freemason.
Lefkowitz states to a large extent that UNIA was organized along Masonic lines. It had a significant benevolent function. It had a constitution based on the Masons. It had a potentate, and potentate's helmet closely resembled the ceremonial hat worn by Masons in special parades.
He was a knight.
He even wore it in a parade. Yeah, with the sword and everything.
Purple Knight. That's his rank. He was a Purple Knight. Look at his outfit.
The funny thing is, today I cut their code words, because when you read his story, it tells you his father was a stone mason, so they make you think like he's a construction worker or something, He was a stone mason, and then they say at 14 he went to be an apprentice printer, right? That's the code for when he became an apprentice in Freemasonry. And then it says in his older life he became a master printer. When he became a master, those are code words. They're telling you he's a master
definitely
mason.
Code words.
Yeah.
He was hired in 33. I can tell you that.
Yep.
He was way up there.
It's like they molded these people, because he had this dude Alfred Burroughs, Godfather or whatever, financed his whole life and stuff.
Man, he got on the same outfit Prince Hall had on. Uh-oh. And I got his book. I got both of those. The on the Freemasonry, on the Masons, by Prince Hall. I got those. As a matter of fact, you can. I think that's available online. You can purchase them, if I'm not mistaken. They shouldn't cost that much.
All of a sudden, it's available online. You just gave up the stuff, and then it's available online. You could just purchase it or whatever. Yeah, we're sure, Mister. You have Prince Hall books at home. Yes, we're sure. You just bought them online.
Because they know you're not going to look at that type of stuff. I got the Boule also. I know their colors. I know their schemes. I know their handshakes.
This is a demonstration of wire.
Rest in peace, Steve Coakley. Rest in peace, Steve Coakley. Rest in peace, brother. Coakley, you was right, Coakley. You was right. You was right, Coakley.
Coakley wasn't saying he's Aboriginal and Indigenous, though, so how come you riding with him so hard? He wasn't saying that he's Indian and all that stuff. He wasn't saying that he's Aboriginal and Indigenous. They don't know Steve Coakley. He was freaking Diesel guy.
Demonstration of Wirecast.
He was Diesel rapper guy when Steve Coakley was lecturing. What the hell does he know about Steve Coakley? To be saying his name, rest in peace, like you know what's up. Watch one video of Steve Coakley on YouTube and you think you know something about Steve Coakley?
He was right. I have it, Coakley. I bought the book, Coakley. You're right, brother. I know they killed you, brother. You was right. And I thank you for exposing these fools. Thank you. Thank you. And shout out to your son, Steve Coakley Jr. Shout out to Steve Coakley Jr. Your father was right. Your father was a good man. I thank him for exposing that boule, man. Thank you.
Remember, this is this name snitch to YouTube guy.
This is a
Now
demonstration
he's
of
giving orders to
Wirecast.
Steve Coakley, who said, kill snitches. Now he's giving honors. Steve Coakley said the boule should get their head beat in for playing around with the people. Only somebody on that vibration, boule, Prince Hall, or whatever, would snitch to YouTube to try to get a channel shut down.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
For all the dick riders of Dane Calloway, just remember that he snitched to YouTube. Go ask him about that stuff. Why'd he snitch?
Thank you. And I got the records now. I went right back and saw where he got that from and got it all. I even got the book that he was mentioning. Matter of fact, bridges and boundaries. African Americans, American Jews.
Is a demonstration
Bridges,
of
boundaries.
Wirecast.
African Americans, American Jews. Get that book. Get that book. Get it. Right now. Open up another tab. Download it and read it. Or buy it and read it. Top, bottom. You got to know what happened, guys.
Yeah. So I got it says here a man named Timothy Drew founded the Moorish.
Stop. Stop.
Of Wirecast.
Stop. They not ready. But just the sentence, Kermail. Go ahead. Come on, brother. The sentence.
Well, we already know that. He founded the Moorish Science Temple in 1913. He was born in North Carolina, 1886, January 8. He converted to Islam after a visit to Saudi Arabia. Marcus Garvey and his group heavily influenced Drew. And after Garvey was deported...
Stop.
This is a demonstration.
I need a button. I'm going to buy a button. Like when you was pressing the home, right? I'm going to buy that. I'm about to get that. I'm about to have that. We need that. Like Copper Hot Stepping to be doing that. The DJ, what's his name? DJ, and he be hyped with on that live stream. What's his name? He a beast with it. Like and you can hear his echo and everything, and he be like,
everybody can read it, so it doesn't matter if I read it.
What? Oh, it's on the screen. Oh, okay. All right. Go ahead.
I mean, everybody already saw it.
All right. I mean, y'all gonna learn about them Shriners, man.
Don't forget, moorsandmasonry.org. If you really want to know about the connection between Masonry and our people,
This is a demonstration of
don't listen to these
Wirecast.
people who don't study. Don't listen to these people who have no books to show you, no bibliography to show you, but they're just going to throw something up in some papyrus writing. So you know this is not a real book or whatever, because it ain't. This is the font that
This is a
they
demonstration
use
of
to let you think
Wirecast.
they're unconscious or whatever. Font game.
Oh man. Oh. Woo.
So when I'm saying, let's take it off, But when I'm saying that, yeah, you maybe had some information before us because you were part of this circle. You know what I mean? There's, but there's more to learn. That's all I'm saying. And if you're part of that circle for all these years,
This is a demonstration
talking about you've
of
been teaching for
Wirecast.
25 years, and you're still saying the same thing.
Who was teaching for 25 years?
I'm not gonna say names, man.
Okay.
We talked about it before, actually.
Okay.
But yeah, like it's not about disrespect or anything. It's just
so they
like,
coming at you too.
They've been coming at me.
Okay.
Well, they come at me in mad, different reasons, not just because of the info, also because of my complexion and all that. So, different reasons, but they always come with the whole, more. But they don't show anything. They're just showing you the same old. But when I pull this up, they quiet. They don't even know what to say. It's like they don't know this stuff.
They can't respond. Yeah, they don't want to know that stuff, brother. They want to get caught and stuck on their beliefs. They don't want to know that stuff. They don't.
No, I'll link you back.
They don't. Okay? We ain't go. 1913. Okay? Now think about the time period.
This is a demonstration.
Okay? Think about who was in office.
Yeah.
Think about what was.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, can you Google who the president was in 1913? If you can pull that up for me. Because I don't want to share my screen, honestly, because I don't know. I'm not too comfortable with this thing yet. But it's
Woodrow Wilson.
Okay. All right.
This is a demonstration.
And by the way,
of
Woodrow
Wirecast.
Wilson wasn't even his name.
Thomas?
Somebody had the last name Wilson, and somebody had the last name of Woodrow. That was in his family.
Damn, so go ahead, spill the drop.
This is a demonstration of
I'm trying to figure out if I should do this now.
Is he an indentured servant?
Right? It's all part of 11 hours these people are on here. "11 hours. Not one reference in 11 hours.
This is a
You just
demonstration
just
of
scroll through like this
Wirecast.
and all they got is just showing up pictures talking BS. I want to make it very, very clear with regard to a few things. They were talking crazy about Moabites. Make it clear.
This is a demonstration of
Make it
Wirecast.
clear. Moors are descendants of Moabites because Moabites are thoughts springing from and belonging to that in consciousness which Moab signifies. Moab from the Metaphysical Bible
This
Dictionary.
is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Moab means seed of the father, flowing from the father of his father. And while Moab represents the body and the most external conditions of life, there is something good in it, or at least a possibility of good. From the top of a mountain in Moab, Mount Nebo, to the top of Pisgah, Jehovah showed Moses the promised land.
This
Ruth,
is a demonstration of
who represents
Wirecast.
the love of the natural soul of God, and from whom David and Jesus were descended, was a Moabitess. On the other hand, the text "Cursed be he that doeth the work of Jehovah negligently, and cursed be he that keepeth back his sword from blood," accompanies a charge from the Lord to destroy Moab. Moab here signifies carnal mind, lust-born turpitude.
This is a demonstration
When
of
the individual
Wirecast.
enters into the overcoming life, he receives the commission to destroy, to cast out the carnal mind or personal limited self. And that's why ancient Moabites, because he's told us in chapter 1 that he's talking about the fall, that man will regain his right estate when he gets back on his nationality
This is
and
a
birthrights,
demonstration of Wirecast.
and stop serving carnal customs of man, which again goes back to this carnal mind, which is Moab. Because we were supposed to have evolved. We're supposed to have evolved. Just like Brother SetenRa said. You were formerly known as Moors.
Demonstration of Wirecast.
You devolved if you're called something else now. How did you become something else? It must have been somebody that doesn't look like you that did that, with help from people who look like you. Because the Delaware School Code even established a school for the children of people called Moors.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
These are the obligations that they had to the Moors. And that was 1921. Around the same time, Noble Drew Ali is telling these people that they're Moors. It's all part of the same game. Keep you away from your nationality and your birthrights. Keep you attaching to some type of fraud.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Keep you outside of the bounds of common sense. It's common sense to tell you that we're Moors if Lenape Indian tribe of Delaware, referred to as a tribe, was formerly known as Moors. And then they say
This
the
is a
Lenape Moors,
demonstration of
the
Wirecast.
Moors. Why? Because everybody's Moors. We are all Moors, Anur Majid. Smart dummies. Smart dummies. Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. Moabitis. Metaphysical
This is a
Bible Dictionary.
demonstration of
The
Wirecast.
carnal mind as it pertains to the soul of man. Ruth the Moabitess signifies human love raising to the divine because of its willingness to leave the love of the unreal. Why wouldn't you want to be a Moabite? At least as a Moabite, you're human love raising to the divine.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Because you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. Illusion sucks. Who wants the illusion as a reality? Back to life, back to reality. Reality is that we're all Moors. The reality, like we were saying earlier, is that
This
Dane
is a demonstration
is
of
European.
Wirecast.
And Calloway is a European. And smart dummies don't realize that you're being played. Why does your indigenous guy have a European name? Why? Why does he? Shouldn't he have an indigenous name by now? I mean, he went from the rapper guy name to European name. Now you're conscious? Hold on a second. Or is that
This
even his
is a
name?
demonstration of Wirecast.
That might not even be who he is. That could be a misnomer. He could have just made that up. Don't ever forget that everybody knows. And don't ever forget that
This
this
is a
guy
demonstration
snitched
of Wirecast.
over a year ago. Snitched to YouTube. Why? Because he's not about your liberation. He's about keeping you unfamiliar with your nationality and birthrights. He's about having his little jerky boys with him, going out here,
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
doing an 11-hour thing, and have some little part in there where they're talking crazy. But we'll never let the people know that they snitched. No, we can't make this up. We can't make this up.
This is
This
a
YouTube sent
demonstration
this.
of Wirecast.
And he says that we're Aboriginals and all that. Our video was saying that we're Aboriginals, not blacks or Africans. He's saying that we're not Africans. So why is he snitching? Don't forget, YouTube pays people.
This is a
This man gets
demonstration of
$20
Wirecast.
a week, a month. $20 a month because he uploads some videos. What are these people getting? If he's getting $20 a month and he's hyped that he's getting $20 a month, he's a YouTube guy right now because he gets $20 a month. And then if it's $20 a month across the board, then these people are selling out for peanuts. That's how
This is
bad
a
it is right now.
demonstration of Wirecast.
That they're going to sell out your birthrights for some peanuts and then tell you about FBI papers when these people must be working with them. So if they're not saying that they're Moors, they probably have some type of backdoor deal. They probably have some backdoor deal if they're not saying we're Moors.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
And don't forget, check this one out too. Just pull it up from powwows.com. Myths, misinformation, and motivations regarding 1907 Dawes Roll and 1909 Miller Rolls. For all these genealogy guys. Don't forget the dog came back as Cherokee, since you want to be Cherokee. And Lenape. Squirrel came back as a Lenape.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Peace and love to all Moors worldwide. Should be. We'll see how many of the dick riders leave comments on this one. We'll see how many. So we know they're out there. They've been going nuts.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
They've been going nuts. But like SetenRa said, they're going to do what we do. And trust me, work's getting done. Yes, Shavarian.
This
Moors
is a
were the first
demonstration of
Europeans.
Wirecast.
It wasn't some pale people. It wasn't pale people. We're it. And Moors are the first Africans, and Moors are the first Asians, and Moors are the first Arabs. Don't let them take any of it from you. Don't take any of it from you. Just make sure you put more on it.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Right? And our problem, why we're in the situation that we're in, is nobody strangled the sellouts. Everybody just played like it was cool. That's not gonna have any effect on anything. Yeah. Right.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
This is what these forums are for. Now, when we talk about nationality, it's not about ink and paper, it's about mindset. It's not about a card. It's about mindset.
This is a demonstration of
If you
Wirecast.
know you're a Moor by blood, then you just keep studying. You just keep studying. Because if you think that this is about papers, somebody's going to get you for $5,000 for those papers. And you're going to feel very stupid because you didn't study.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Islam tore us all day. Stay beating them in the head. With no apology either. And no guilt. Beat them in the head. They're either going to move their head or they're going to keep getting beaten in the head. It's real simple. You don't have to have your head where I'm swinging. Why is your head there?
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
No, it's not about sure somebody's an agent or not an agent. The fact of the matter is that he snitched. I don't care what information he's putting out. Why'd he snitch? What is the purpose of snitching to YouTube over send an email to somebody who always puts the email address out there? Anybody could send an email. Phone number out there. Phone number's out there. You call, leave a message. Why are you snitching to
This
YouTube?
is a demonstration of
It's supposed to be about
Wirecast.
unity and our people and all that stuff. You snitching? They want to do this. They want to do this. They don't have to do this. They could be down with nationality birthrights and let's get this thing over with. But no,
This is a demonstration of
they want to play
Wirecast.
their little game. So I'm not knocking it. Play your game. Just don't get mad when you get beat in the head. Because, you know, don't get mad at me because you snitched. And now your views are lower and stuff because people are looking at you like, what the hell? Why are you snitching? Don't get mad at me. Get mad at YouTube for snitching on you. Go complain
This
to
is a
YouTube.
demonstration of
They're the
Wirecast.
ones that snitched on you. Get mad at me. Stop dissing the prophet. Stop talking crazy about the Moors and nationality and birthrights. We could talk crazy because we've studied to know that Indian is Los Indios. Which is why they use that as a substitute for Moors in 1621. Because they had to put our people in a dead status in order to do those dummy
This is
treaties
a
with them
demonstration of
in order to
Wirecast.
steal the land. And then put the individuals who assisted them on reserves. Today we call them hood and ghetto and block and all that. And then we're reserves, and the only thing we're thinking about is some Indians over there who had some alcohol for blankets.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Studying is a must. Studying is a must. I don't care if you have to do 5 minutes a day because you're so busy. In that 5 minutes, go in that 5 minutes. Go in like you never went in before in 5 minutes. If that's all the time you got.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Right? Because the truth is that you're not gonna know by being told. That's why when Brother SetenRa Bey on there, go check this, go check that, do your research on this, Do your
This
research
is a
on that.
demonstration of
Don't be a
Wirecast.
parrot and then start saying, might as well do this, since he probably snitch anyways. Might as well do this.
The term African American to refer to all black people was endorsed only since 1989.
The term African American to refer to all people of color was endorsed only since 1988,
but was against the desires of the majority of black people. In fact, the term was endorsed by only 5 people,
but was against the desires of the majority of the people of color. In fact, the term was endorsed by only 5 people.
You still think he's credible? FOHT.